Hello and welcome. Welcome to Odin Wednesdays, the day of our Lord Odin. And today we're doing some more streaming regarding the Odin programming language and anything else related to it. Tonight, in fact, we are actually working on something, not actually the language, the programming in the language, but things related to the language itself. So I'll be working, on, if you know him on the Discord and stuff, this Drunk Dane or Hjordshu or whatever it's going by nowadays, has been lovely, and he's actually set up a server to get the nightly builds for Odin. So you can get the latest version pre-built, just downloaded. And so I'm going to be setting that up for Odin now, making sure that everything is here. So I have the JSON file, which I'm going to bed onto the website, which is here. Now, this does mean I'm going to have to write some JavaScript. And I haven't written JavaScript in a very long time. So wish me luck, because I don't remember any of it. Now, the question is, where should we put nightly builds? Because you don't really want them on the homepage. You kind of want... where do you want to put it is the question. We need another tab is what you're trying to say. Okay. Yeah, let's just do that. Because we got all this nonsense. Let's do it. It's on the Odin theme. I've got layouts and stuff here, haven't I? Default items. I don't remember. I haven't done this in ages. So there's a header. There we go. Perfect. That's for that. And then, yeah, okay, so it's in the config. Okay. Again, haven't touched this code in a long while, so I don't even remember what's going on. There's a blog, which I've never used yet, but hey. Let's add another one. So this is going to be called downloads. So downloads. And hey presto, Bob's your uncle. It's there. So we're going to put downloads as the new one. I'm going to write index.d. Because I think if you look at like the for the community and stuff, it says here, yeah, I've got this sort of style. This is not the home. Downloads. And what we're going to be doing is nightly builds. So if we click on downloads, we've got here. We should probably set that to number 2. Tagged releases. And the tagged releases are on GitHub, so I should probably just do that. And just do like GitHub tagged releases. Like so. There we go. Nightly builds, on the other hand, is this going to be wonderful JavaScript? So if I can remember actually how to write JavaScript, that might help. URL to nightlies. Yeah. Well, there's the path. So, how do I read a JSON file in bog standard JavaScript? I need to turn this JSON effectively into a JavaScript object. I don't want to use jQuery. So wait, actually, do I have jQuery already installed on this machine? Not machine, in the headers, as they're called. JavaScript. Or did I not do it? Is it built in nowadays to json.parse? Is that really all it is now? I don't know. Look, this is how often I use JavaScript. Look, like, yeah, but I need to get it from the actual URL, or is it not? Fetch. Look. Oh wow, JavaScript has changed. I was going to do. You know what? Right. I'll explain what I was going to do because clearly I don't use JavaScript. This is how long ago I haven't used it because I was going to do something like this. I was going to go like something like get a I can't remember what it is, HTTP like that sort of HTTP request thing, and then open it, getting it, set the response on the load, do that. Yeah. Thank you everybody for showing how crap I am at JavaScript. Yeah, but that'll parse it, yeah. But I don't need to parse it yet until I've got the file. Unless, does it just... Okay. Console log obj, and I should probably... Whoops. Keep the console open at the side. Yeah, so it's not correct, obviously. But now people are going to tell me I'm a moron. Yeah, I own Sublime Text, so I've been using it now for... How many years have I been using Sublime Text? 7 or 8 years? Oh, that's great. Yes, XHR is no longer needed. Oh, yes, thank Odin. Well done, Odin. Tomorrow you have to thank Thor, and then you have to... It's Freya, or... Yeah, Freya, or Frigg, or whatever you want to call her, on Thursday. Friday. Look, day of the week, whatever. So we need to do... Is it fetch URL? Someone's telling me. So fetch URL. We're going to find out. This is... But I don't want to use JSON, so it isn't JSON, right? So fetch URL, then something else. Oh, do I even... Oh, I can actually just go like this, apparently. Is this valid? Like, clearly, as you can tell, I don't do this that often. And that was not correct. Is this JSON? Can you... No, I'm not adding up methods or anything of that nature to... Is fetch correct? Is this correct code? Because I don't know. Why is it... What's being... I know it's being blocked for this, but... Can I just try it in the console and see what happens? Yeah. And then... It's being blocked. By cause policy, no access, allow origin return... Oh, for flipping heck. Cross origin, great. Great. Like, I'm not trying to do cross-object crap. Yeah? I'm literally just trying to read a JSON file, which I can read in my own web browser. Hello, more people coming on. This is wonderful to see people. It's quite a busy stream now. I have no idea how many people are watching. Maybe I need to refresh my Twitch thing. Yeah, now it's showing me. Much better. So, let's learn how to do JavaScript. This is clearly not doing it. Yeah, this is live drunk coding. Look, I don't even know how to do JavaScript. And I'm having to look at really crap tutorials like on W3 Schools. Because that's always great to know. I want to read some data from a URL in JavaScript without having to go through all the crap. Well, here's the next thing about my code in my next website in Odin. Let's say when I've got this ready, I'm going to be working on something else. So, but let's get there. So we've got all this crap. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. This is great. I'm looking at how to do stuff. I'm not trying to do jQuery. I know it'd be easy in jQuery. I don't remember even if I have jQuery on this site. I probably do actually. If that's the case, I have. Nope. So no, I have no jQuery actually. Interestingly, MathJax and my own little thing. That's it. Actually, no jQuery. Not drunk yet. I've only just started. Literally, I've only had a sip, and I've got some bourbon. By the way, it's Bullet Bourbon. Bullet Bourbon Frontier whiskey on the bag, and it says 70 whatever Bullet Bourbon thing, 700 milliliters, 45% absolute, Gay Lussac by volume, whatever. But there we go. Look, I am not using jQuery on principle at this rate, because oh, bugger off. Oh, I'm gonna wait 10 minutes and try again. Yeah, I know. I just want to fetch some data from a server. Is there anything? Is this fetch just because it's being blocked on the server end? Because if that's the case, then you're trying to say this should work. Okay, well, let's make some test data by just copy and pasting the JavaScript, actually. So let's call this the response. No, that didn't work. People are telling me how to do things. Wow, thank you so much. I now know how to look at this. Oh, someone's told me how to do async stuff. And now we can do stuff. Yeah. So we are now going to do that. Thank you. We're doing all the fancy stuff now in here. And keep the console open, whatever. Console log JSON. And then we're going to call this here. Now, theoretically, we shouldn't be calling it here. We should be calling it right at the end. Still being blocked. That's fine, because we're going to pretend we're actually doing some code. That's what I was saying. We need to do some fake JavaScript. So in here, we effectively, if we look at the data structures of this code, we have files, last updated, and then the actual days, which is wonderful. So then we'll just need to take the days, take this and take that. Yeah? So you mean I should, what? So I should do this? Do this nowadays? But I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't think half of this would work anyway. Like, this is kind of funny that how bad I am at programming in JavaScript. Oh, good God. I want to get on to the second project that I want to work on in the next 20 minutes. I thought this should only take me half an hour, right? Oh, how bad I was. So literally, let's just go and pretend it is actually fine. It's 4, is it 4 each? So This is how bad I am. I am now learning how to program JavaScript as I go along. And then you have to have... okay, stop. I'm going to do it C style at this rate. Apparently for each has been removed. Okay. So what am I meant to use? For in now? What am I meant to use nowadays? For of? So is this what it is? So for const file of JSON dot files. Yeah, there's so many choices. Just in Odin, there is only one for loop. There's no choice. Again, in Odin, there is for, and that's it. Isn't that lovely? There's only one choice to make from. It's so simple. Oh, great. So, right, we're going to do this. Console log file. And I guess each one is going to be an object now, isn't it? Okay. So each file is going to have a different binary in it. And each file, I guess, has got a name. The hash. And the URL you can download it from. But it's still not working. Is it because this is cached? Is this crap? Or is this... Oh, I don't know. Who knows? This is why I'd probably just need to copy this file. Whoops. And just do it normally. Like this. This is one of the JSON files. And it's clearly not correct. Great. My wonderful JSON prettier can't copy and paste correctly. So let's pretend that this is correctly parsed. Let's say that's const data. I don't know, is it const or let or... Won't work like this? Someone has told me that this is the code. I have no idea what I'm meant to do. So am I meant to just do this? Clearly, this is way too complicated for me, obviously, and I am just going to have to cheat. So let's not do all of this code and const JSON is whatever that data was. Okay, am I doing this wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong with this code? View source. Raw HTML omitted. Why is that not being added in? Oh, for Pete's sake. Yeah, I can go fetch it now, but I'm not going to. I don't think it's... I haven't got the code working yet. Three hidden? How are they hidden? Can I do... Three of them are hidden. Perfect, thank you. Verbose. Don't really know what goes on. Why are they hidden? I don't know. This is just stupid. Can people... Like, okay, clearly I was trying to do something simple. I don't care. This is just not good. Parser was blocked due to some document write script. Right. Okay. This is obviously not... Someone told me to write... I don't know what people told me to write, so I shouldn't be listening. I shouldn't be listening to people. Okay. Can I do this? No, apparently. Okay. Is it the old trick that you have to do this to get anything old done? No. What the... Right. Can someone tell me? Yeah, I think Go Hugo is getting rid of all the HTML. Like, how do I keep inline HTML? Come on, Go Hugo. Ow, that was very loud. Yes, I'm using Go Hugo. No, I know console doesn't print HTML. I've got the console open. It should print out to the console. Yeah, this is Go Hugo I'm using. So I've got docs here to look actually how Go Hugo works. Nope. How do I just use JavaScript and embed it into my thing? Because I thought it would work. So the idea is I could probably just add my own, is what you're saying. Or, well, what it's saying at least. So this does not work, but that does. Someone else is telling me how I can do this. Yeah, I think I've got the same... Oh, here. In the config, okay, like here. Where the heck do I put that? Why am I having to do unsafe? Like, do I do this? And then do I have to restart the entire thing? Like, this is clearly, probably, this is entertaining to people, watching someone who has no idea what they're doing program. I hope this... Is it? Oh, fucking hell, it's in the blog. What the hell? That was... What the fuck? It's there. It's actually working. Right, making that bigger so people can see it. Look, it says hello. This means things are working. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this wonderful? For const file in... What do I call this? Data. Data.files. Okay. We're now going to print each file. And look, we've now got indices. File, and then we need to kind of sort them descendingly, don't we? I can't remember how you do this either. I'll figure it out. Don't tell me. I want a descending sort. So I want reverse, effectively. I need to sort. Sort reverse, I think, right? That was not correct, obviously, because they're keys. So what you want is, I just want the keys. Okay, so I think if it's correct, I do that. Keys is not a function, apparently. Or is it, do I do that? Not good either. Okay, so So I'm just going to test. Does that have... No. Because they're just pointing out dates. They're just a file thing, aren't they? So let's just find let's call this file date. I don't know. So let's look at for loop in JavaScript for an object. So you got the key and the what key and value, please? Key and value. So I guess this is the key, isn't it? So the file data, file date, file data has all the data in it. Okay. So now we can actually print out like the name, and then it says nothing. Well, that's because it's an for fuck's sake. Build. Is it an in or an of? Say of. Build.name. This is not iterable. Okay, in. Okay, so I'm doing everything correctly now. Can I put an in there as well? Yeah, no, it had to be an of. Well, this is a brilliantly designed language. Great, because this is what's happening up next. Maybe. Again, I'm doing everything blind. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, yeah, again, hopefully entertainment value. Because the idea I was having here is keys, data, and I thought it was object. Is it keys like that? So for key of keys, it's working. And I want to sort that and reverse. Like so. So now it is correct logic. We can just actually now do what the people told me to do, and I've lost the code to do the fetching. Well, I'm a clever person. Don't you know this? So there's the URL. JSON URL. Magic. JSON. Is it the JSON URL? Like so. And then I thought there was a... someone gave me the file. Has someone got the link again so I can do the... I'm this clever. Someone's got a code pen thing for me. Thank you. You're a very, very kind person. Let's just do it manually. Await. Apparently you've got to do awaits nowadays. If res is okay, const JSON equals await res JSON, like so. And it's now saying invalid await. Well, let's get rid of the awaits. Did that work or not? Someone is probably telling me. How am I enjoying curfew? Yes, lockdown is not very great, as I can say. It's, yeah, I've been stuck here for quite a while, all over a month now. Yeah, I know it's async is for promises and all that crap. I just feel great. Like, how difficult. JavaScript, it's meant to have some of the most built-in things ever, and I don't know what's going wrong. Parser was blocked due to... what? Okay, so here's my code. That should be running, shouldn't it? That's what I'm trying to state. Like, can I go console log here? Yeah, it loads it. Doesn't load here. But can I do that? No. Apparently this is not a function. I didn't think it was. I'm trying to ignore half of these. Turn off the verbose. And do I keep... Well, I know they're errors, but the first one's not an error. So someone is telling me, someone else at least now, that I can do this. I'm missing a parenthesis somewhere, apparently. Where? So I thought I had to do that, and then someone told me no. So I thought you had to do the thens. Like, then you had to do the response. Return response.json. Then. And then we've got all the data inside. Oh, now it's working. Thank you, whoever there was that kind person. Okay, so now we need to modify the DOM object and actually add some stuff in. So for each thing, we need to append the thing. So someone's asking, do you have any good resources about how converting AST to an application tree to the LLVM API calls, or did you just do the LLVM architecture by yourself? So I have no good resources. Yes, I had to pretty much learn LLVM myself, but the thing is, it's actually no more different than lowering it to any other bytecode in a sense. It's not that much different. It's if you know how to do that, then LLVM is fine. LLVM is a single static assignment based thing rather than anything else, but yeah. So we have all of this. Yeah, I'm going to show all the other things. I'm just, sorry, I was getting distracted here. We have build.name for this URL here, as you can tell. We have a SHA-1 in there. And we have a URL to download it from, not just the name. So they're the things we need to put into console log. But we need to put this into here. And I'm just going to put an ID. Nightly builds, and effectively what I need to do is I find the DOM object for that, go through each of them. Actually, it's probably easier if I do it by date, isn't it? So I need a null of a null. Yeah. Right, this is, again, I hope this is good comedy for people. Someone who doesn't know how to program in JavaScript, or actually that's a lie, I have programmed JavaScript before. I just haven't done it in a very long time. Okay, so without doing jQuery or any of that crap, I just want to do it bog standard, whatever. So I want to find... Right, without using jQuery. Do a shot for every syntax error. God no, that'll kill me. Like, okay, so document get element by ID, yeah, and I called it nightly builds. Inner HTML. I'm just going to see if I can do. There we go, it worked. There's some text. Isn't that wonderful? So, I now know how that works. But this isn't necessarily a good thing, as you may know. So let's call this D, because that's such a good name, D. And then from that D, we can go through each of the things. So we can... This is probably not the way of doing things, and people are going to tell me, no, Bill, you're not meant to do it that way. You're meant to do it this way. And I'll be like, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, have no idea what I'm doing, actually. So, but where's the fun in that, to be honest with you? Knowing what you're doing? Oh, again, life's boring if you just do that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't she a beauty? Isn't she? We have a URL, but nah. What we want for that URL is we need to put an because I know what I'm doing here. See that? I remember this. Yeah. Like so. And wait. We can also, in each thing, like, look at that. That's actually kind of working. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. We technically need, per thing, we need it to have its own little, like, subtitle, really? Kind of. So so like a H3, is it H3 I want? Yeah, whatever. And then key. Is that wrong? I've got a syntax error somewhere. Ah, there. Okay. They're a different colour now, but that's not that bad. Like, okay. That's fine by me. For the time. Why is that one smaller than the other one? That's what I want to know. Like, why are these so big? That's what she said. Like, seriously, like, why are these? I'm not going to look at the website just because I want to see how good this is from scratch. Because I am, again, this is funny. I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah. Look, where's the fun in knowing what you're doing for things like this? Yes, they've clearly got different CSS styles. I know that, but I don't know what's going on. I just don't know how to style it. At least I got things working. That's kind of cool, isn't it? We have got style. We have got the CSS here somewhere. Yeah, style. Here we go. So, for nightly builds, font weight, that's fine, let's leave that. So let's put font size, let's say what's 1M? 0.4, does that change anything is what I want to know. I'm finding out. I have no idea. Because this is clearly not working, is it? I don't think it is working, but... Yeah, by the looks... I know what's gone wrong. It's gone wrong here. Can anyone guess what's gone wrong? We found this div, and then it's disappeared because I've just overwritten it. Yeah, it's this inner HTML rather than whatever I need to do. Like, I want to pretty much just append an element. So it's append child. I can create one from scratch. I know that, and do it the old-fashioned way. But is that what I need to do? Yeah, that's what I need to do, isn't it? Damn it. Title. It's something like this, isn't it? So H4. And then what you do is append child, which is another document, create text node. And then this is the date. And then D append child, which is the title. So if I now comment all of that out, this should now be all... It's not within a div. What the hell? This is a div. What is going on? Oh, you moron. I know what's gone wrong. This is actually... Go Hugo. It's got the same flipping ID. No wonder it couldn't do anything right. No wonder it looked all wrong as well. Even though I was probably doing actually everything correctly then. Not ordered list. We can probably append that child now. And then through the loop. Item, document, create element, list item, list append child, list item inner HTML. I'm just going to do this for the time being. And look at that. It's working now. Yeah. So each of these different things inside of it. So we do a H3 again. No, H4, but an H4 makes sense, more sense. And then I don't know what, can't remember which way to do the list style. Is it? Oh, I don't remember. List style type. Of course it is. Whatever. Okay. So header gets an ID as well, which is the exact same one, obviously, because I didn't know that. And then what I want is on each list here, can I say, can I add a tag, like set class, I don't know, JavaScript set class of element. Let's call this that is not working, even though I know I do know that this thing has this on it, and if I do padding, say 1M, it's going to work correctly. But this isn't updating, even though it should be. Yeah. Look, I've done it correctly now. I find the one way of doing it, but it's working. So we could leave that as that and say that's the end of the stream and be done. And say, yeah, good night, and we'll be all done. That's my end of JavaScript. Because clearly, I know what I'm doing. So there's that. Okay, why isn't this working? Like, this should work. Nightly list. What's the name of the thing? Nightly list. Is it because of reasons that I don't know of? Right, all you JavaScript amazing people in the background of watching this you know what I mean. Let's just get rid of this. So on these things here, you effectively... You want a list of a list, actually, don't you? You want a list for each build. You want a char of each one of them as well. So you need a list of oh, great. This is... let's call this... I don't know. I'm going to call it X, my variable name. Oh, brilliant. Don't you know those? Let's call it data. That hasn't been used before. It's just as good. Yeah, probably might be go Hugo live revolt fault. Yeah, more likely than anything, to be honest with you. So we have data. Depend child document create element. So this will be the link. Like so. And then we have hash. So that's build SHA-1. And then we've got the hash, like so. Now it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking real good. I'm not looking at zigs. I do not want... He does it in tables. Oh, I shouldn't have looked at this. I shouldn't have looked. Yeah, table's much better, isn't it? Like, hell of a lot better. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I not do a table earlier on? The real question is because I'm not clever. I was just trying... the thing is, I do need a... I did want to separate it up. Also, tagged releases I can put to the top rather than there, to be honest with you, because it's a better place. Oh, that's been added twice. Why has that been added? Oh, yeah, because I've told it to add it twice. Obviously. So, what we need to do is make a table. Because this is better than having a list, obviously. So we now have a table. I hope table... Let's call it T. Now, if I can remember how a table works, just bear with. We're going to have the header, the T head, which, you know what? Let's just write the inner HTML, which is, I really don't remember any of this. Oh, I'm scaling that down, so that's just really annoying the hell out of me now. But yeah, so we needed a T head, if I remember, yeah. Just write in normal HTML, just be easy enough to remember. So we have a T head. It might just be easy to do this and then do it the normal way. And then we do the row, like so, yeah. And then you do each header, like so. This will be the file name. And then we don't have the size, but we do have the SHA-1. So TH. Like so. Okay. So then we have the body. It's going to be a T body. If I am remembering this, isn't this wonderful? So then we need to have we have different elements for each of them. So we need to have in the body, they are TRs because you need TD and TRs. So each row, TR, so that's a row. I'm going to append that to the body. Like so. We're then from our thingamabob, each row will now need a column. So we need the first one, which is the file name. So this is the file name TD. And then we have row file name. We've got the hash. We're going to call it hash. It's another TD. This time the inner looks like that. And now it looks correct. But we haven't put the date. We put the date here. That's fine. I mean, that doesn't look that bad. Just doesn't look great, to say the least. So we need to have another date parameter in there, effectively, which isn't this header. But no, I'll just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Keep it stupid. And what do people think of this amazing thing now? That's my real question. Who would have guessed? Tables of tabular data. Who would have guessed? Oofed. Actually using tables in HTML instead of flexboxes, I know. But yeah, tables, this is actually a table data. I know, I just realised. I couldn't believe this. I blame it on the bourbon. So we have all of this going on. And that looks relatively good in my opinion, actually. I can get rid of the SHA prefix now. Oh, we've just now seen the Twitch stream on Twitch. Clearly not thinking straight. We can probably actually get rid of like so, like that. We could also probably add another column here, actually, which is URL. Like so. We could do that, but that just looks ugly. Actually, the more I look at it, it looks really ugly. There's a whole point of having hyperlinks to things. Yeah, you can add the size later. We'll just keep it blank for the time being. But who to say it. Does this look good now for Odin? We actually have a way you can download nightly builds. Now, I'm going to limit this to... Should I just render them all? How many builds? Actually, here's a question. Mikkel, how many things are actually on that thing? Are you doing all of them forever, or is it just going to be the next current week or something? How long does it last? You do all of it. Oh, great. Okay. This table's gonna be huge. You'll only keep 7 days back. Oh, that's fine. Oh, perfect. Oh, I don't have to do any more. That's perfect. Thank you. So now there's a GitHub API to get all of the tagged releases. Oh, God. I wanted to work on something else today, actually. Should I say what I actually wanted to work on? Because I don't want to wait till another week. Yeah. The other week... yeah, so I actually wanted to see if I could work on something else I don't know anything about, which is I wanted to make a WASM assembler. Like, work in Odin, make that WASM thing. But yeah, this is what you should be doing. So what I'm going to be doing is now I'm going to just deploy this, add downloads for nightly builds. We're going to upload this all the way up to the interwebs now, and it said failed to push some refs, but that means it's probably worked. Actually, I think that's literally just means it worked. Odinlang.org should say, yeah, 19 seconds ago. So if we now go to the website itself, guys, this is live. This is on the live website of odinlang.org. Who knew? Can you virtually send text in Odin? Yes, you can. Much better than CSS. CSS, this is... look at this. This is... I will say one thing. Actually, there's a bug. This actually used to work, and I don't know what happened. I'll show you what happened. This used to look good. Something has happened. I haven't changed the CSS or anything, and now it looks crap. What happened on web browsers that made this crap? Like, clearly it's not the full width. I don't know. I am just happy I've done some JavaScript. Like, I was happy with this. This entire thing looked pretty, and I was pretty happy with it. So there's that. This looks awful. Like, this used to be lovely and in columns, and now it's just all over the place. So yeah. Questions. Does Odin support multiple inheritance? Odin doesn't have any object-oriented features, but it does actually support multiple subtyping. In fact, it does it better than any other language available at the moment. To show an example of that, subtype polymorphism is in the language here. Now, this is not a very good example in the demo, but if I actually go to the demo file, it'll be actually better. So if I go to documentation, demonstration of code, whoops, that was loud. Subtyping in the language. So this is the union type. I'm going to go through just for people. Don't worry, it's fine. In the language here, we have a union type, which is a discriminated union. So this is a bit different to different languages because Odin has very strict, distinct typing. So all the types are quite distinct from each other. So this is a basic union that has an int, or it can be an int, a bool, or none of the above. That's how it works in a union. And then you're just setting it a value, and it'll be an int, and then it has that. Set it true, it'll be that. So it will do and it'll work correctly. Now, there's a duality in Odin between an any type and a union. So an any is a pointer to the data and allows for any type, so it's an open type, while a union is pretty much a binary blob, but only allows a fixed amount. So you can have one in the middle, whereas you could have a union of pointers, which would be closed, but again, it's still a pointer to data. I'll increase the font size. Sorry, is that better? Sorry. I have a massive screen, so I forget how small text is. Hopefully that is better. So there's the union types. There's the union, and there's the thing. Now, here's an example of actually using both the unions and the using in Odin. So this example here is like a bit more realistic of where you can use any's or unions. So this is for subtyping. So here's a base struct. Effectively, it's called a base struct. Has some properties in it. It has like an ID, has a name, position, orientation, whatever. And then we have this derived thing at the end. So this is actually so we can get runtime type safe information for derived entity types, and we can derive from it at any time, but it can also go back to downcast easily. So each of these subtypes, frog, has the entity type in it, but we're using in it. So this using brings all of the names into that namespace of the struct. So you can access them as if it was anything like anything else. But it also, this using is also magic, and it tells you, no, it's also a subtype. So we can do this new entity thing here, which is the type, polytype, polymorphism, whatever. Let's ignore it for the time being. But we can do a new entity of a monster, which will return an entity. We can go on the derived, and we can actually do a switch statement as if it was any of the other types. So just a basic switch statement. Magic. Like that. And it's quite nice to do. And you can just treat them as if they had all the values. Now, we could change the memory layout around. So instead of having each value be separate with the entity embedded, we could have just the entity be contain all the data and all the different variants, which is the union approach. So the union approach here has all the derived types, and each of these subtypes now has a pointer to the original one. So it's still a subtype, but it's actually doing it through a live pointer. Now, you can't do that in C++ or I can't think of many other public languages yet that can do that. So, but if you look at the usage code, it's identical. That is the amazing thing about Odin, is that you can have the same usage code for code, but the entire memory layout is entirely different. So this is one of the things I'm commenting on here. Is like, look, this is something amazing. And the thing about the using thing is this using can be anywhere within the structure, and you can have as many things that you're using as long as they don't overlap. So you can have multiple inheritances, if you want to call it inheritance. It's technically just multiple subtyping as much as you want. With discriminated unions, you can apply them both together, like all these lovely things together, all thought good ideas, and things just work. Magic. So that's kind of that question answered. So it's not just similar to C's is unsafe. Yes. Someone's asking, is case like A, comma B, comma C, comma D, colon supported unit switches? And the answer is yes. You can have multiple switch cases but separated by commas. So if I find a switch statement on here, sorry about that. And then we're going to find a switch statement. So where the heck is the switches in here? I'm not dead. I'm back. But yeah, it's fine. So that's kind of that in there, that question. So it's kind of similar, but C's is completely unsafe. This is actually runtime safe and do everything correctly. So I just dropped the mic, as you would say, yeah. Which is hopefully okay. So there's that. That's Odin for you. So today, I actually wanted to work on a completely separate idea. Let's call this WASM. Yeah, let's just do that, but we're going to work in a different directory. So we're going to set up a brand new project. I'm going to call this one WASM. And WebAssembly. So I'm going to create a new little, for Pete's sake, Sublime Text has been annoying me at times lately. Because it's been, I need to reinstall it probably. Look, why can't I right click on my own? There I can now. What the flipping heck is going on with it lately? No custom logos. No, they're just terminal window. That's all I'm doing. Good evening to people. Welcome to the stream. So I'm just going to first just do Odin, run source main.odin. We could just call this WASM actually. Now let's call it main. I prefer main. And then like so, new folder, source main.odin, package, let's call it WASM, main proc, let's do let's run it. And Bob's your uncle. That was slow the first time, and that's fine. Let's make this go even faster with the new LLVM backend. There we go. So there we go. So this is what I was trying to do. So my idea is I wanted to go into completely blind into all of this. And I have no idea how WASM works. Literally no idea whatsoever. And I mean, I literally have no idea. So we can get started. We need to download this massive thing just to get started with mscripting, because that sounds exactly what I want to do. Yeah, I'm just going to write it from scratch. Yeah, I know, no idea. I told you this is going to be perfect comedy. So, it's the ship with the most 4 major browsers. Oh, wow, wonderful. So, I want to see, because I know there's some WASM on the wiki, as a basic example. Yeah, I'll read the spec for a few seconds. That should be fine, right? Yeah. Like, there's the binary stuff, and then there's the intermediate representation. I don't care about the C. I just want this code, and we're going to be seeing if we can create a function we can call in JavaScript that just gets called and it's run the code, whatever it does, whatever it needs to be doing. And then, yeah, I don't want to use LLVM. I'm doing this from scratch, as I kept saying. I know LLVM can output stuff like this. I'm not trying to do this. I'm trying to make my own little assembler. It's my own fun little project, okay? And I'm just diving in because I have no idea what I'm doing. And reasons. So, where do we start? Getting started seems to be the worst thing for me. But what we need to do is use something. We need to output like HTML file, I guess. So that's the first thing. Let's output an HTML file. So OS. Let's get some. Strings builder. I can never remember. Is it? I seriously don't remember. What? Where's Odin on this thing here? I can't even remember my own things make builder. Thank you. Woof. That's not good. I don't need to delete it really. Destroy builder. OS write entire file. So we just need to do a slice of everything, don't we? So because of that, we need a file destination. So we write the entire file. We're just going to call this test.html. And then we got a B of buffer, whatever like that. And it's just going to be the last thing we do as well. So it's just deferred. Destroy string builder. Of course, we need to pass it the bleeding builder. So now it's created our own blank HTML thing. Isn't that wonderful? Strings, and then we can write some crap to it. Like write string. Like so, and then we just go, I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Do I need to put doc type at the beginning of HTML stuff now? I can't remember. I'm just going to pretend I don't. Yeah, it should be fine. You got head, title, WASM, test. We should actually no. I'm going to keep the typos in next time I make them. The body, as long as it's valid syntax, of course. And then H1, WASM, test. Okay. Open in browser, the default browser. Yes, that is my default browser. That should be, look, I should be seeing stuff if I build it. Hey presto. We have now got a little builder going on. This is wonderful. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I know you can put the doc type thing on the top. I just couldn't remember how you... I just couldn't remember what you need to do. That was all. Build. Run. That's fine. So we've got everything running there now. as you say. Effectively, we need to now... stuff like this somehow. Actually, you know what? Just have that in one whole line. Who cares? Run. Done. Yeah, I know HTML is extremely forgiving of syntax, which is one of the issues I absolutely hate. I know it's many people say, "God, you want to get beginners doing it, or they don't want to make mistakes and have an issue." I'm like, no, I'd rather have compiler error. Like, just because of, oh God, I won't rant. HTML is not even the worst thing about the web. CSS is because this stupid idea of separating presentation and content is the most stupidest idea in the world. You tell a graphic designer that, and they'll look at you like, "What? What are you talking about?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" Because the presentation is content, you morons. But this is HTML. These are software engineers or whatever, and they think, "Well, clearly this is what you want." It sounds like a great idea. And it does sound like a great idea until you actually realise, maybe there's been thousands of years of people who've actually been doing design, and maybe they know what they're doing. But maybe they don't. Who knows? So, right. We have WASM binary formats. Okay. So, how do I make this? I really have no idea where I'm starting from. Okay, WASM. I want WASM from scratch. I'm writing it from hand. Perfect. Someone is telling me how I can write it from hand. And there's a WAT file, WAT format. WAT. And this all seems to be in order. There's a WAT and a WASM. This looks like code to me. I want to make the full-on assembler. I don't want to actually use the WAT format. This is just cheating, in my opinion. I want to see. I want to see if I can run one of these things, and then it works. Okay. So, these are different things. Yeah, of course you can do direct memory access. You can do all this cool crap. Yeah, that sounds cool. But this is actually it is probably the best way to start. So once I have the WASM file, I need to compile it and run it. And then you can get it. Oh, that's okay. That makes more sense. So what I need to do is in the title, I guess, script type equals, is it module, right? I'm learning slowly. We're going to have file system. We're going to have .main WASM, which we're then going to output wherever. So this is just going to be test.wasm, not main. And we've got hello world. No, we're calling it hello. Because this is no, let's call it hello world because it's probably in binary already. No, that's called hello. Let's call it hello. Okay, so that's, whoops a daisy. Getting crap up there. Someone is telling me I can figure this out for myself. I'm like, yeah, let's just do things the complicated way. I don't want to learn how people do it. I just want to do it from scratch and learn the difficult way. So this should work. We haven't got a WASM file yet. Test.wasm. I'm just going to have a WAT compiler. I'm not doing the nonsense. Oh, what? You know what? I could just do this. I'd just be lazy. HTML. We could do that and then not look like Odin code anymore. Even though it is Odin code, but it's not. Test. What? So now we have the hello, and it's going to return 42. No, we're going to do 1337 because we're elite. That ran. I printed out hello, which I don't need to do. But I do want to refresh this page, which if I do insert consoles, require is not defined. Is it not? I don't know what require is. This is Node, not JavaScript. Oh, I'm going to kill that. No, I'm not. Right. How was I supposed to know what this was? Node and JavaScript, they're flipping the same, right? I know it says Node here, but who knows what that flipping nonsense is? So, who knows? It's only 14 lines of JavaScript. It should be 1. It should be 1. Why does it tell me how long it takes me to... Oh, look how quickly it is. And I'm like, I don't want to write... I want to write my own assembler. Is this too hard to ask? Like, okay, I know this thing exists. We have a WAT thing here. WAT. Yeah. So, actually I wonder if there's a package for a WAT file. It's just Lisp, isn't it, at the end of the day? Oh, whoa. It said Zig failed then. Oh, look at that. That's nice-ish. So I know you have a param and then result, and then you have the body of the stuff, and then whatever the instructions are. No, I'm going to be emitting bytes directly. I just want to get something up and running first, make sure I know how to run WASM code. And then I'm going to figure out how the flipping binary encoding works. Because looking at this looks like... This is weird, is what I'm saying. Yeah, makes sense? Okay, so we have a test file. Compiler? Is there someone who's got your own? No. Build your own WASM compiler. Great, but this is not what I wanted. And don't tell me. Don't know. Oh. Oh. This is cheating. I should hide this. I'm hiding that because that's clearly telling me how to do it. Aren't they lovely? Well, you're clearly having your own thingamabob that does it. It's making your own little language. I can make my own language. That's not the question. Like, I can make my own better language than that. Oh, much better than that. Oof. So, I now need to figure out how you do this crap. WASM to C? No, I want WAT to WASM. WAT to WASM. Just something online. That's all I want. No. I meant to click the stupid thing. I don't even use Google usually. I don't know why I'm not just using that. WAT to WASM is like, no, I don't want it. Come on, there must be something online I can just drag and drop to it and it gives me the right thing. Also, apparently WebAssembly is built in nowadays. Oh, it is, yeah, duh. I'm a moron. Ignore me. So there's a WAT file. So this is telling me, I'd love to just see where the specification is for the WebAssembly. Because it might be that this, it might just be easier to just write it from scratch at this rate. Go to WASM on Wiki. And let's oh, there's one on oh, perfecto. Empty what? Perfecto, thank you. That's output. No, I want what? There's an add. Now that actually is a lot better than what I was expecting, and they're even named things. Okay, so build. I get a. That's not a WASM. Run. I get 2. Okay. I want to see this as a binary file. Can I download it at all? Download. Great. You can see all the crap I've been dealing with lately. Great. Source. No, I want the at file, which is the... I'm a moron. No, I want to extract that. Oh, for fudge you. Reveal. Yes, delete that. Rename that to test. So now we have a test WASM file in there. And look at that. Look at that binary format. We can... I want to see, actually. I want to see what if that UTF-8. No. Wait, is this binary or is this text? I'm a moron, aren't I? I've just saved it as text. Oh, you're a moron, Bill. You should be... Look, you shouldn't be doing any of this. You shouldn't be knowing what you... No, just go back to the downloads and just download it again. Not download it again, but just the... Just... Okay, so there it is, and it's not in it. This is not text file, is it? Or is it? Wait a minute, guys. Yeah, I know this contains the spec link. That's not the question I'm looking for. I'm just asking, the file that I was given, is that binary or is that text? No, it is, looks like it's binary. So, if I now save and build, whoops, refresh, it's going to fail. Because, did I just lose the, no, it's there, put that there. This was an add, wasn't it? Why is this not working? View source. It's not. Where's this require? Oh, for fuck's sake. It's because it's fucking Node. This is fucking Node. Do I have to use fetch again, don't I? Someone says yes. Just say yes at this rate. We've learned fetch already. And I've got errors. I just want it local to that file. It should be... Yeah, it's a WASM file, so it's there. How do I turn... I'm ignoring the emitter. Minus the dash. Like that. Like that. What? How am I a buffoon? I have no idea what people are doing. Oh, minus... Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, you're right. Let's just build and run. And it says it's... Dot. There we go. Must be HTTP. Cannot load this file. Well, it's just... For cause request. It's not fucking cause. I'm trying to load it locally. That's all I'm trying to do. Just don't. Okay, can I do anything that's not online? What's that? Fetch to local file. Someone's telling me to use... really? Someone's telling me to use React. I'm going to kill them. I can probably just omit them, you're right. Like, so with the... But I was trying to just do it to a file so I didn't have to keep doing everything every time, if you know. Well, it's not text, it's a binary file. That's the problem. This is pure binary code. So I don't want to do it. It's not text. So I'm reading, right, fetch doesn't work since for about 2 years now on local files. So how the heck do you get around it? I want something else. I'm not... I just want to read a file as binary array. I just want to load it as binary array, but not binary. Someone is telling me why is this so more difficult than it should be? Oh, for really? Why is this more difficult than it should be? I'm not telling you. Right, if I'm going to do it manually, that's what's the problem is. Look at it, it's in binary. Okay. So let's just do it. Let's just do it the long form then. I didn't really want to do it the long form, to be honest with you. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I generate it every single time, so I need to ignore what my stupidness is doing. So like this is what you're trying to tell me. Just go and write a full-on buffer array. Like this. Probably not that far across either, but you can kind of catch my drift. Can you not? This is probably not correct, by the way, as well, because I don't know which Edianness the Sublime Text has actually been writing it in. So let's find out if that even worked. Unexpected number. Really? Whoops, shouldn't have done that. Unexpected. Am I missing a comma somewhere? Yeah, there you go. Build, refresh, unexpected number. Am I missing commas still? Yeah, I'm missing another comma there. Yeah, that should be better now. Okay. Uint8 array is undefined, apparently. How is this undefined? Is it small I? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? It's syntax highlight. I didn't find out for that. And it's returned add, and there is an add function, so this actually worked. Let's add. I love adding the numbers 45 and 71. And the numbers we're getting are 116. Yeah. So, what I'm going to have to do is this is where it's going to be written in the code. So if we go back to Odin syntax highlighting, we can now strings write string to my string thing, and then here is the buffer. Well, this is, again, I need to open up back the Odin code because I don't remember if I can do write bytes. Yeah, they'll be writing the bytes directly, but they're not what I want. I actually want to write an integer in a certain base with a certain prefix. So for b in data, write string, which is OX, like that. B, right, U64, B5 now. use 64 of B base 16 and put a space there. Doesn't matter how many there isn't correct, but it should work still, right? Okay. You cannot take. Oh, it's the wrong B, isn't it? Value. And it's doing it correctly. So this is now my absolutely thing. Now to test it, you're right. Okay, we need to test. Can we do 1, 2, 3 plus 3, 2, 1? Oh, it's a really hard question. It's 4, 4, 4, man. 4, 4, 4. Oh. We'll get there. This is probably one of the worst ways of doing a WASM builder, but it works. But this now means we are now this first step away of making an assembler. We now just need to start doing everything else. So we can look at the cheaty thing, and it's going to tell us where was the spec. It's going to tell me here's the head of magic file and stuff. Is there a yeah, so now what I'm going to do here, binary data, byte, just putting it into a different file, out of the way, so I can actually just just keep it out of the way. It's just large with this stupid stuff. And then we got data. That seems wonderful to me. So now we can create our binary data. Make byte. Yeah, there's no there. Okay, it's going to crash. It says we can't compile it. So that's fine. We now need to find out the WASM file format and find the definition. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. I just clicked the first random link. I shouldn't have done that. Is there... Someone said on here there was a link. Did I miss it? Where is it? Okay, we've kind of got this. So introduction. No. Binary format. Structure. I want binary format, not the text format. Conventions. So we have different value types. Let's just call these... Yeah, let's just call it value types, actually. So we have a value type of that, 7F, 7E, F32 is 7D, and F64 is 7C. Okay. Limits. we can have vector types as well. Oh, great, great. So I'm just looking. Maybe I'm a little bit complicated, but I hate reading back a snarl form. Okay, so we've got first a module. We've got magic. So we have the magic. That's 4 bytes. That's OXX, 061, 073, OX6D, which looks exactly what it looks like at the top. So we have got that. We have the version. And in this case, the version is again another 4 bytes. It looks like it's version 1. Like so. Binary data, magic, and then version. And it says ambiguous thing. Well, it's not really ambiguous, because it's not addressable, so let's make them none, like that. And actually could make them slices as well, screw it, they'll be cleaner. Like that. How it works, I'm a moron, but yeah, it works. So we're now looking at this. We have custom section, we have func type, all these different things here. And then the data segment. Okay, I'm saving this, by the way. Okay, hopefully this is entertaining for people. Now I'm actually doing something I don't know. No, I didn't remove them from the... What are you talking about? It's from there. I didn't mean to do it. I'm just trying to understand what the heck's going on with the rest of the data. So there's the binary data. Yeah, I'm adding this slice to this data. So it's... I could just show you could technically just say they're 4 like that, and then you could actually go, okay, slice, and do the same thing. So it's now, if I just print bytes, all you need to do is you need to go bi bytes, funct printf, yeah, like that, and then actually no, I've got the new formatter, don't I? So O2x like that, aha. B, and if I plus 4. Actually, how am I working that out? So if that equals 3, we're going to just print a line. That's what we're going to do, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Why did that fail? What have I done wrong? Oh, I've just gave it the flipping wrong. Yeah, no, I can't pass it yet. So let's printf and then. So that is that. A hash in there. Now it's correct. So sorry, what was the questions? So the questions are, what are we making about this? At the moment, I'm trying to make my own WASM assembler from scratch when I have never actually touched WASM a day in my life until today, and I have no idea how it works. So that's going to be fun. Other questions. Yeah, but does the spready do any computational work? Like, does they have to? No, it doesn't. So the way that append is a variodic procedure, by the way, it actually takes. It does two different things. So append is actually overloaded. So it's one of those. It does feel right. So don't worry. There's an element version, so you can take one in there, and there's elms, which are then you can do A, B, C, D, whatever. Now, variodic procedures, they're actually the variodic bit is actually passed as a slice. So when it does this spread thing, it doesn't actually do any work. It just says instead of doing multiple parameters, just take the one parameter and do it as all of them. That is what that does. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so an any technically takes a slice, but a variodic dot is actually not a slice. It's actually a bit cleverer than that. So that's where the thing is. So now we're looking at this. We're now trying to read what these extra lines do. I don't know if it's trying to format it in 4, but I'm just doing it in 4 bytes at a time because it's probably easier to read. Probably. So we've now put the magic, and I put the print, let's put this crap here. I'm just putting the crap out of the way so I can fit it all on the screen for everyone, really. We have all of this. So we now need to figure out what the next line says. That's what I want to know. There's a custom sec. What does custom section mean? They have 0 ID, so it's not. Type section? Oh, they're all different. Ah, I know what it's doing now. Hey, I'm completely going blind at this. This is probably not the best way of doing things at night, and I'm drinking. But live drunk coding. When does what become an any? There's no any in append. It takes the actual value and does it. Any is only used for printf stuff. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, I'll show you the implementation of append if you want. Just to prove it to you. Look, here's append. There's also an SOA version as well. And it takes in 3 different things. It has append elements, and append element of a string. Because you can append a string to anything that's like a byte array, because it actually feels correct, by the way, if you do that. So append string is actually a little bit weird in that regard. It appends multiple strings to a dynamic thing. So I can just do that, and it's pretty cool. If you look at the other appends, though, like append element, it just takes in one argument. Append elements takes in a variodic thing. It's a dot dot, which is actually internally just a slice, but that's what the dot dot means. It just means you can pass it correctly. And if you treat it in the code, it'll be exactly just as a slice. So that's all it means. There's no any's in here. Any's only needed really for printfs. Like that's the whole point, is runtime type information, which is what this thing's for here, by the way. I've been using, again, I did the new Python thing. It's identical to that, by the way. So I'm just trying it out now. And yeah, it didn't take me long. And yes, someone said, yes, you can have a bug sometimes it's annoying where you can append nothing. And that's perfectly valid. And it is. And it's bloody annoying. But it's valid. And it's part of the quirks of the syntax. And you can't really do... You could probably add extra things like, don't do this. I'm like, you could, but... What was I saying? Yeah. So I'm now trying to reverse engineer. Yeah, someone's asking about that require at least one. The answer is maybe. I'll think about it, but not right now. What does all this mean? I guess this thing here is the beginning of another section, isn't it? Like you have a 0, 1, does something. Like this 7F, I can see 7Fs everywhere, and that opcode is the I32. I also know from WebAssembly that numbers are encoded in little endian base 128. So that means that the first number tells you if there's another number coming, another digit, and then the 7 bits, first bit is that, and the next 7 bits is actually the digit. So theoretically, so you have to have 2 bytes to encode a single byte, which is actually not that bad, really. Because even though it technically takes up 8 bits, because the first one is reserved, you have to go onto another bit to do it correctly. So yeah, it makes sense. It's just a bit weird. But it does mean if you're in base 128, well, it's not base 128, is it? That's the thing. It's just, it's ASCII at the end of the day. It's 7 bits encoding. So that means if you need a 32-bit number, 32 divided by 7 means you require 5 bytes. So you need an extra byte pretty much every time. Yeah, okay. So we could read this and figure out what goes on, because they would help us. Let's make an add function. So we have a module, a function, add, the parameters and everything. So they're telling us all the opcodes. So I want to know where all the opcodes are as well. Instructions. Let's call this, let's create a new struct type, by the way. We should have actually just done this rather than having a byte array. Let's not call it struct, let's call it emitter. Data. Dynamic byte. And then this emitter let's do a new emitter. Yeah. Like, by the way, I think Dwarf Force uses that sort of convention as well for numbers, so I don't think it's not uncommon. Like this little endian base 128 stuff, 7-bit numbers really. So I don't think it's that uncommon. Let's call it emit header. I should not call it right. Emit header. So next, we want an emit get local, really. So we need different, they're the tables of crap. We have all this value type, that's not correct. We just want an opcode, op, enum, u8. And I want the list of opcodes here as well. So we have let's just keep it lowercase actually to make a difference. I know I go get into my own conventions, but no op. Yeah, that's actually a bad idea, what I've just thought of. So there's a reason why I do that. My convention solves it. So that's an if. What's the difference between this if? Oh, it's an if and then an else. What? Let's call that if not and if one. Yeah, that's kind of the idea as you emit and then do that. Yeah, that's kind of the idea I've got. Oh no, there's only one if. It's just a different way of encoding it. You've got a branch, which is that. What else you got in there? You got a branch if. So that's a. Yeah, let's just keep it now. So you have a jump and a conditional jump. We have a branch table, so that's a jump table. Return. Call indirect. So probably won't be able to using the call indirect, but they are some nice little control. They're quite simple actually, very simple. That's all you need, obviously. But we now have the variable instruction crap as well. We have parameter ones, so we have drop and select. We then have local get. Is that get local? Just local get doesn't make a difference. And that's 20. Local set. Local T? What the flip is local T? I thought T came from India. Okay, so it's a bad joke. I should stop my jokes. We have memory. Is it? It's a combination of... Thank you very much, person in the chat. Sets the variable, then returns it. Okay. So we have that, and then we have the different the instructions here. Oh, goodness. Let's just copy and paste that. It's going to look awful. That didn't work. So we're writing out by hand, aren't we? Load I32. I64. You know what? I'm going to write them all out. So load I32, F32, F64. They're the only two types in this, aren't they, really? Let's ignore the crap for the time being. This is a... It's technically I8, isn't it? 8S. There's also an 8U. There's a 16S and a 16U and a 13 and a... Okay, so maybe I should have just called them... Okay. Yeah, this is quite nice actually. This is not bad at all. That's quite uncommon. I've actually in many things, by the way. That's really uncommon. AS and AU. You know what? It might just be easier to write it out by hand again. Just keep doing it line by line. Don't try and cheat. There's no real advantage to any of this. Eight, and then it's got the 32. So wait. So that's, and there's an 32 store. Yeah, makes sense. So then there's the i64s and the 32-bit versions of them. Yeah. 2D, 2C. Where's the i64? 30. Okay, so they were E and F. So they are all 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct, yeah. And then we have the store. So I32 store. OX3X37, yeah. And then we have the stores of the different variants of them all. So store 8, store 16, 3A, oops, 3B, 64. So memory grow size has got two different specs to it clearly, but that's not a problem, is it? C, D, E, memory size, and then memory grow, like so. So that, I'm not joking, is looking okay. We're just building up a spec tape. That's all it is, symbol table. That's all it's for. Okay, numerical instructions. These are the constants. I'm not sure I like the number than the load. I think it should be. I know it sounds like a little bit silly, but actually no, it makes more sense. Say it is a load with the number. Same with the store. The instruction is store. And like these here are kind of like local get. No, that makes sense because it's technically a different thing. So const I32 OX4. This is probably very boring to watch right now, isn't it? So you can ask questions as you go away, go along if you want, by the way. I'm always going to be answering questions. So then we have the comparison ones. Equal to 0, I32. Equal, not equal, less than signed, less than unsigned, greater than signed, greater than unsigned, less than or equal signed, less than or equal unsigned, greater than or equal signed, greater than or equal unsigned, with the different sizes there as well. Okay. I'm going to guess that they exist as well for the I64s. 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. And wasn't that lovely? They made it line up. A, yep. The other ones are easier. Equal to F32, 05. B. This is very boring. Yes, they are important. So what I'm doing at the moment is just the opcodes. So you have the opcode and then you have the actual instruction afterwards. So I want to have these be, you call these, you emit this instruction, and then you can emit something else afterwards. So this is actually how you make assemblies usually in general. You kind of try and want to make it as generic, as simple enough as possible. So C, D, E, F, and then 60. And then you've now got the 64 version as well. So, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is correct. And now we've got all the fucking other ones as well. I mean, I do actually need to add them because I want the add instructions. That's literally what I could just probably. It'd be easier if I could just make a generator than from doing it rather than doing this from scratch. But who cares now? I'm halfway through. Ish. I'm just going to do. I could have just done that. What the hell? Really? Really? I could have just done that. That's really pissing me off now, by the way, that I could have just done that. But you live and learn, don't you? Live and learn. Same with all that. Again, this is not a bad spec at all, actually, by the way, what they've written so far. I've seen worse. Yeah, then there's the rest, which I don't actually need. But you do want the sign. I do want the sign extend stuff here, actually, just in case. No, let's leave that for the moment, actually. Just treat everything as just the same size. That's actually okay. So what I want to do is very, very simply have an emit using emitter. Now, we could always just have a global emitter, by the way, like so, but I don't know, I just wanted to keep it clean. So we're going to just have op for op, and then all we're going to do is cast that op to a byte. We've now got an emitter. So, and in fact, we could actually have this be, so what I want to have to do is main at the top there. It's going to be the exact same thing every single time. We could actually go like so. So now we can actually emit as much as we want, but I don't think that's personally actually what you want. You just want to do one at a time. So we can then emit different things as we go along. So as we know from this, I'm reading this, and it says 0, 1. Now, I doubt this is a no-op from looking at it. I think there's something else going on here. So that's what it's kind of suggesting to me. I don't want to make a compiler. I want to do the thingy, please. I just want to see how you do this. Okay. So, for instance, if you have different emitters, this is where, in my head at least, this is where things should go through. Because you have different block types. They're the control function instructions, but you've got modules. Now, I think you're going to have a module type, and you have different things here, don't you? So, you have a type section. Conventions, okay. Yeah, I know it does. I'm just looking. I'm just briefly looking around random things. I just want to see how things are actually encoded. So integers, yeah, are doing the 7-bit thing, aren't they? Floating point is probably doing the exact same thing again, in little endian as well. Fine by me. I don't really care what the format is, but little endian, fine by me. So yeah, I know there's this thing at the bottom here. And it has all the different section types, clearly. But if you go to a function type, how do I know what the first thing is? Because I'm reading this clearly, and I want to see what actually happens. Because you could turn these all into different opcodes, but that's not clearly what that means. Because there's an 01 there, and there's an 07. 01, 06, 060. And a 60, if it is an opcode, was going to be that, and I doubt it is very much. So we've got all of that nonsense. but we want to figure out what's going on. Now we could... Is it the typesec link? He's telling me it is the... type section. So it is a type section for definite. You think so? I'm trying to think this through. That's my guess how things work. So I'm going to do section enum u8 again. Custom is 0. Type, let's just do, so your import function table memory global export start element code data. Like so. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B. So they're the section stuff, okay? We're going to ignore that, but you're going to omit a type section. So we're going to omit a type section, and then the type section, it says has that format. So it points to a function, so it points to another section, which is the ID. Section contain of a 1-byte section ID. The U32 of the contents in bytes. Okay, so it says 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the actual contents whose structure is dependent on the section ID. Okay. Okay. I probably shouldn't be at this time of night in my thing, but yeah, I should probably finish in a minute. But if people enjoy this, I can probably do this again sometime very soon. Maybe on Thursday, which is today. Instead, but I will say it is weird that only Saturday is the only one that's not named after a Germanic god. Only one. Because you got Sunday, Monday, so sun, moon. Tuesday is Tyr's Day, Wednesday is Odin's Day, Thursday is Thor's Day, Friday is Freak's Day, Freya's Day, and then Saturday is Saturn's Day. It's the only one. That's very weird. And I don't know why exactly. It was very fun once the JavaScript stuff ended. Oh, it wasn't. So it was actually more... Wait. You're saying it's fun now? And now we're going on to this stuff? Okay. Again, I'm completely blind into this. I have no idea how this is working. I just thought I'd make an assembler for the fun of it. So we've got an omit type section. But the thing is, do you want to... We can have size in bytes. Yeah, but not in England. That's the thing in ASS. Lordag is not... Yeah, it's like... Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, but in English, it's Saturn's Day, isn't it? Yeah. It's Saturdag. Yeah, Saturndag. Yeah, Saturndag. Like, clearly... It's the only one. I know it's named after Saturn, that's what I've said. But the problem is I'm trying to figure out why. Otherwise, Old Norse and High German did not borrow the name of the Roman. Wait a minute. In the case, however, the Roman name was borrowed directly by the West German peoples, apparently because none of the Germanic gods considered to be counterparts to the Roman god Saturn. However, Old Norse and High German did not borrow the name of the Roman god. In Icelandic, yeah, it's as he was saying, it's in Icelandic that's what Lorgendaga, and in German that's in Samstag. Okay. It was just interesting, that was all. But yeah, this is interesting to say the least, is that I have clearly got nowhere. I spent more time just writing a flipping opcode table for the Opcodes instructions. And then you have to write a... Actually, that's a good thing to do. I can write a number, can't I? Whilst I'm here, I can do that. So it's in Little Endian. So to make sure that... Haha, Odin's amazing Little Endian stuff. Transmute. Like so. And then how would I convert... How do I convert to that format? Yeah, Tuesday's named after Tia. Tia's Day. God of the Giants, or whatever you want to call him. Like, encoding this shouldn't be an issue. So for byte in bytes, the value... I'm just going to copy it, by the way. If that value doesn't equal 0, if it doesn't equal 0, we've got the set. There's more bytes to come. No, they need more bytes to come. That's not right. Right, I'm thinking it the wrong way around. I'm thinking about how to read it, not how to... Yeah, let's call it X, and call that B, like so, and then let's call this Y, like that, yeah. If V doesn't equal 0, then we need to set the highest bit to say there's another data coming. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I can think about what I'm encoding wrong. So we need to make sure you do it in the correct way. So we need... I know what I'm doing right now. So we're going to do a for loop. I'm doing the wrong way around. My brain wasn't thinking correctly. So X. You want the first lower bits. Let's call that value. Let's go down by 7 bits now. If that value doesn't equal 0, you need to set the higher bit on that byte. And then we're going to have to omit that And if, so that we're going to have to emit that. And if value equals 0, we then break. Yeah? And technically this is the same for U64 as well. Okay. But if we want to go for an I32, signedness is going to be a little bit more complicated, okay? So we need to... Oh, goodness sake, how do you do this? So, okay, so apparently in Danish, according to Mikkel, it's saying that, but the week actually goes Monday, Tuesday, little Friday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What? Is that right? Again, all of the days of the week except Saturday are named after Norse gods, Germanic gods, yeah. All of them. So this is a little bit something else I need to do. So negative, I'm just going to make a copy of this. So I think I need to take the size of as well, the value in bits. So there is more, so 4 more, for there is more stuff to come. Let's take the bytes again of the current value and then chop it off. If the thing is negative, then we need to do a sign extend, and our sign extend is effectively that, and then you've got the size minus 7, so that's a sign extend, yeah? Yeah, that's sign extend. Just had to remember. I'm just thinking I haven't done this in a while. Sign bit. So if there's no more, but there is a sign bit, so it's clear. So if that is it that one, the end of the nibble? I think that makes sense. It's clear. Or let's say the value is negative. And it has been set. Then we can say more equals false. Else we can emit a byte. And that should be enough for an assigned thing. I64. So now we have this. So we can say emit. We've got an emit op technically here. So this one we just want to emit the type section. Okay, and then we want to emit the size. So emit size. So that's the type section thing done. Great, that took a bloody long time to do. Is it too small? What have I done wrong? Oh, fuck. I can't even go against my own style of what I'm doing. Yeah, that must be assigned integer, so yeah, that's because reasons. It's an old thing actually, that's just, I know why, but it's weird. So that is fine. So I think that says it's a section header, and it says, this looks like it's only 7 bytes by the looks of it. So if we, and it's 7 bytes, we get that. So that is a type section, did we not say that? Yeah. Oops. Where is the modules? Is it the modules? No. Is it under conventions? No. Values? Well, they've encoded the values, and I'm guessing the floats are identical as well, by the way. I bet they are just the same as... Yeah, so they're actually a lot easier by the looks of it. Emit F32. And it's little endian. So F32 little endian. And then transmute to be in bytes. And then we're going to append the binary data value to be so. And then the same. Oops, F64, and there's 8 of them. So that's dead simple to emit it. Okay, so people are asking questions. So someone filming the chat, it's been a while. Does or will Odin have macros, or is that being handled externally? So the answer is most likely it will not have macros in the language itself, but it will be handled externally. The reason for this is I'm planning, which won't be long away actually, by the way. I just wanted to do something different tonight, to have a very good metaprogramming system built into the core library. So you can do whatever the hell you want, pretty much. Because my main complaint with all of this is just because most people want metaprogramming and they want different forms of it, like completely different forms, and it's like, I can't please everyone, so I'll just do something different. It's the short answer of it. So we have a type. Okay, so back to this. We're going to type section here. There are the different types. Plot. They're the memory instructions. We've got modules. So it's like a type index. Sections. Yeah, sections. So we have, and then continuation. So we've got all that written. To be honest with you, that is actually quite a lot of code just to get all that crap in there, by the way. It's not much. So we have a type section. So we have section 1. Then we have vec. What the hell's a vec? Is that a binary vector? So it says 1 and then 60. I remember seeing 60 somewhere. Wait. Vectors are encoded with a U32 length, followed by the encoding of their element sequences. Okay. Anybody got any help? Anybody? What? I have no idea what that means. So this is it. It's what happens when you go blind and you have no idea what it is, except WASM is something that kind of machine code, that fake machine code on web browsers. That's all I know. That's literally pretty much all I know. So as a section, which is what we got, we take the first byte, which is the value, and then the size, then continuation, which is B, which is all the bytes. Only continue if there is a byte, and if there is, carry on. So then we've got to our type index, type section, has a section, and then it has a vec, and then the function type. Oh, that makes sense. So you want to make a vector of the different function types. So a function type has 060, there's what it is, with vectors of the different types. So this one has 2 elements, so 1, 2. So that's an int, I think I understand this now. Oh, I'm able to read it, that's fucking hell, that's insane. Okay, followed by 1, which is another int, so it's an int, int, and int. So apparently, sorry, people are telling me, I have no idea. Yeah, the writing tables don't line up. I just made it. Sorry. Whatever. Sorry, someone's talking to me. Someone is telling me there's a WebAssembly system interface, which is something entirely different now. What? Okay, so I can read this. So we have... So what it has is a function. So we have, this is the function. We have 2 in the vector. We have 1 in the vector. And that's it. I'm not trying to parse it, I'm just trying to read so we can make a section table. Okay. And then we have a type section. And that's it. Is that all that's in there? But there could be multiple, can't there? But it said there's only 1. There's only 1 in the vector, so that was Now we've got 0, 3. So that was... Okay. So 0, 3, which section is that? So now it's a function section. Okay. Function section, we have another vector of a type ID this time, so there's 2 of them. 2 of them, so we have 01, 0. Again, it's the first type, and then 0, I guess, is the contents of it. So I'm probably going to about stop now because it's about 1 o'clock my time in the morning. But yeah, I've been currently writing a WASM assembler from scratch. Not just from scratch, I have no idea what WASM was pretty much till today. So I have no idea what I was doing, and I'm trying to figure out from a basic example. This is pretty much an add 2 integers together function, and I am figuring it out as I go along. So I've figured out that this means a type section which has 7 bytes in it. So we have that. Is that correct? Yeah, it has 7 bytes in it. There's 1 element and it's a 60. So I figured out that this is pretty much the format of what goes on. So I've been figuring out that this is type section 7 bytes. Then this was a vec1 func type vec2 i32 i32 vec1 i31. So theoretically I could make my own little system and make my own language that maps to this quite well. So my idea was I could make a little test language. So yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to call that a night now. I'm just tired. So thank you all for tuning in. I can stop the recording as well. It's been going for 2 hours. So thank you all for tuning, and see you later, and good night.